Right now, a rapper is threatening to sue me for exposing his scams, so let me explain. This past week, I released a video where I was discussing the rapper Phora and how I believe he scammed his fans. I first covered a Kickstarter he made where he raised $65,000 to create his own record label and fund his career as an independent artist. He made a very emotional documentary to announce the Kickstarter, which I joked about as it seemed like a way to guilt trip his fans. One of the main selling points for the Kickstarter is that fans would receive perks depending on how much they pledged, like merchandise, early access to his album, and things along those lines. I then went through all of the comments on the Kickstarter where tons of people said they never got their rewards for donating. On top of that, I mentioned how he signed to Warner Bros. Records less than 2 years after creating the Kickstarter to make his own label. I said, in my opinion, that it seems very scammy. However, the main focus was his clothing brand, Yours Truly Clothing. I essentially went over negative reviews across various review websites spanning all the way back to 2018, with tons of people saying they never got their items, the items took too long to ship, or that they did get the products but they were poor quality. That was just the bulk of the section, just me covering hundreds of reviews with similar stories. I then added up a ton of the reviews and the Kickstarter and estimated that at least $71,543 were taken from fans. I actually rounded down for the sake of the title. I then pointed out that the Better Business Bureau is even investigating this business because of all the complaints. And just to be doubly sure that scamming was taking place, I reached out to a bunch of the people that left negative reviews, and I had tons of people tell me in direct messages that they ordered from the website and never received anything. The story was actually brought to me by someone who had been scammed. Then at the end of the video, I just critiqued and joked about Phora's comments on the situation with no actual accusations being made. And I would also like to point out how in the beginning of the video I said everything's alleged. However, I didn't just make up facts. I was basically just compiling a bunch of people's reviews and experiences with this brand into one video. The intention was just to bring awareness to a sketchy brand. It wasn't to cancel anyone, it wasn't to slander anyone or anything along those lines. I even said that the majority of customers probably did get their orders, but when hundreds of people are having issues, the brand needs to take some sort of accountability. I recommend watching the full video after this one just to get a better idea of the situation, but now I'm going to move on to the aftermath of the video. Shortly after posting the video, a bunch of people commented about their negative experiences with Yours Truly Clothing or Phora himself. I also got a handful of DMs from people who had similar experiences. However, my favorite comment was from Phora, who attempted to respond by saying, "A lot of holes in your story, bro, but I will say I have made my fair share of business mistakes. I take the blame and still have some cleaning up to do when it comes to the clothing brand. But that's what happens when you get into business with shitty people and you're the face. You have to eat the punches. Everything will come to light in the end, but the truth is, scamming is illegal and an actual crime. If I was truly scamming people, I would be in prison. Like real prison. Everyone who has tried to get merch or clothing or whatever it is has an easy way to get all of their money back. It's called a chargeback. Call your bank, say you didn't get the services you were supposed to get, automatic refund. That goes with any customer buying from a business. Hopefully this helps someone. On another note, yeah, a lot of making up to do. But I've gotten with a brand new team of people who are on top of it and ready to help me elevate things and take it to the next level. No arrests, no lawsuits, just unfortunate business mistakes with some shitty business partners. Hope this clears things up, and I'll be back at everything in less than 2 months. Great video editing and storyline, just wish there were more actual facts or something that made the scammer title make a little more sense." I considered responding to this, but some viewers actually beat me to the punch, ratioing him in the process, saying, "Call your bank and do a chargeback, that's really your response?" And as far as I'm aware, based on the research I've done, that seems kind of illegal. According to the Federal Trade Commission's mail order rule, internet businesses selling goods are required to ship the good within the time stated on their website, or if no time is stated, within 30 days. And I can't see if any times were stated on the clothing brand's website as it is currently down. The mail order rule also says, if after taking the customer's order, you learn that you cannot ship within the time stated or within 30 days, you must seek the customer's consent to the delayed shipping. If you cannot obtain the customer's consent to the delay, you must, without being asked, promptly refund all the money the customer paid you for the unshipped merchandise. And if you've seen the video or understand my summary, that wasn't the case. So I'm not making any claims here, but technically that sounds illegal. Now, I mentioned in the video I wouldn't have minded talking to him or hearing what he has to say, and I even DM'd him, but he instead ignored that and responded with, "Our company won't issue refunds, but you can do a chargeback." He also never pointed out the holes in my story or anything like that, but since that was his response, I left it at that. However, the other night I was at the gym getting big when I got an email from a guy named Selman. At first first I thought it was a prank, but it turns out it's some guy in the music industry who most likely works with Phora. The email reads, "Mr. Ball, this is a formal request for a cease and desist to your recent video upload. This rapper scammed his fans for $71,543, posted on 3/26/23. Please see the attached formal letter and issue a takedown immediately. My client is reserving the right to take legal action for failure of cooperation." Attached was a document that said I make false claims of scamming behavior that could result in irreversible damages to the intellectual properties and brands owned by Phora LLC, and they went on to demand that I take the video down or else they will pursue legal action. I have since learned that this is called a slap suit, which is a strategic lawsuit against public participation, which is basically an intimidation tactic to keep people from speaking up. And I'll admit I was pretty intimidated because I don't want to be sued, but I also didn't want to take the video down, so I responded, "What claims are false?" Mr. Selman responded, "Under the state of California, a cease and desist can be sent on the ground of slander and libel that are detrimental to intellectual property, name and likeness, and more. Furthermore, your use of the name and likeness of Phora, a trademarked asset of Phora LLC, is also in breach of the law of California. I am sure your video is monetized, therefore profiting illegally from the name and likeness of my client. Again, failure to immediately take down the video will result in legal action." I was fairly confused that he said Phora's name was trademarked because I just thought that was weird and I couldn't say it in a YouTube video. So I said, "I can't use his name? That doesn't sound right." Anyways, I said everything in the video was alleged, never claimed it as fact. Selman responded again, "No, you cannot use a registered trademark without permission. That is why it's trademarked." He had a little bit of attitude in this statement, knowing damn well that I was just surprised Phora trademarked his name. Anyways, he continued, "Also, your title states this rapper scammed his fans for $71,543. That is a statement made by you and does not read as an allegation. You are in breach of multiple laws here: defamation of character, illegal use of intellectual property, profiting from name and likeness, and more. Failure to take down the video by 11:59 p.m. EST will result in us taking legal action for the damages incurred." So he just suddenly added a time that I had to take the video down by, which seemed to me as a way of putting pressure on me and made me feel like his claims were a lot less legitimate. At this point, I was pretty pissed that they were trying to intimidate me over a video that was essentially just a compilation of negative reviews, with a few jokes and opinions here and there. So I responded with a little bit of sass and said, "Alright, so a title change is what you're looking for, no problem. But if I can't say his name, shouldn't you be issuing a cease and desist to each fan posting videos with his name? Other than that, I see nothing illegal with the video, especially since, like I said, everything is alleged. And what damages have been incurred? The business is shut down as of now anyways, is it not? Also, Phora, I see you're CC'd. I am more than willing to talk about the situation in a video and have it be explained. I don't have it out for you or anything, but multiple people came to me saying they never received anything, so I covered it. Legal action over a silly YouTube video isn't a good look." So at the time, I was fine talking to him, and like I said, I had no personal grudges against him, but now I do. He was playing nice in my comments and then tries intimidation tactics in my emails. He even complimented me in the comment, trying to look like some sort of nice guy. All of this could have been avoided if he just took me up on my offer and talked to me about the situation, because plenty of people beforehand already thought he was a scammer. But since he was deleting all the comments in his comment section and turned off his Instagram and did all these things to hide it, there was no one place to look for all this information, so I put it online. If I did make a mistake, which I don't think I did, I would have immediately taken the video down and apologized. Again, at the end of the day, I was just covering a story. Instead, he decided to try to intimidate me with a lawsuit, which, like I said, is not a good look. I'm not sure whether or not they'll actually go through with the lawsuit, but one reason I doubt they will sue me is because his shady business would be put under a microscope, which is also why I think instead of addressing any false claims I made in the email, they instead used other arguments as to why they can sue me. I've yet to see a false claim specified, but I genuinely do believe that what he did constitutes as some sort of scamming or fraudulent activity. And for further clarification, you can watch the full video that I recently posted. I'll leave the link in the description below. Anyways, this is the situation right now. I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter with anything that happens next. Because of this, there is a little delay on my next video, but don't worry, we will shortly be returning to our regularly scheduled programming. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been Mr. Ball, and I'll see you guys next time.